Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. A very special video today. I was sent an email by the amazing Barbara from First Rate Tutors, and she asked me if I want to do a collab, and of course I had to check out her channel and see what is there. Now, First Rate Tutors have some amazing content, I can tell you, it is really good, and Barbara is going to tell you some more about that. But before Barbara comes and introduces herself, I'm just going to tell you that we live in different sides of the Irish Sea, and so school systems are different. There are different things about living here and living in England that we're going to discuss through a series of questions. So let's go to Barbara and she's going to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Barbara and I'm an English and history teacher as well as the founder of First Rate Tutors, which is basically an online YouTube channel that's dedicated to helping you as either a GCSE or an A-level student study and revise various topics. Now, First Rate Tutors is basically a collective of different teachers, including myself, who teach English, history, maths, science, and essentially on our YouTube channel, we basically offer really helpful revision videos on different topics. So do make sure you check out our YouTube channel, and of course if you need any extra help, such as for example online courses or revision material and even model answers, do visit the website www.firstratetutors.com. Now, my first question to you, Jude, is you study and live in Northern Ireland, which is essentially part of the UK territory. It's part of the United Kingdom. Now, a lot of us, myself included, assume that the educational curriculum for GCSEs and A-level is exactly the same as what we study in England. Is this the case? And if not, how is the Northern Ireland curriculum different to mainland England?
Okay, so I think this is a really important question and we need to get something cleared up immediately. So, in Northern Ireland, our school year names are different. They're only out by one, but it can cause some confusion. So when we start secondary school or high school, whatever they're called, wherever you are, we start in year 8, we do our GCSEs in year 12, and we do our A-levels in year 13 and year 14. So year 13 in England is the same as year 14 in Northern Ireland. So everything in Northern Ireland is 1 year higher, just by number, not by anything else, that's just one number above in the UK. So you go in at year 8 rather than going in at year 7, and you come out at year 14 rather than coming out at year 13. And that is how the years are different. Okay, then, yes, so in Northern Ireland we have a very different curriculum, I'd say. So we have our own exam board, it's called NICCEA, or just SEA, and they pretty much write every exam that people do in Northern Ireland. Now, if your school offers some different courses, you can do AQA or EdXL or WJEC. So in my school, the drama course, which I don't do, but my friends do, is WJEC. I think the psychology course is AQA, but I'd say 90% of people will do SEA exams, and so they follow Northern Ireland school systems. So in GCSE, which we do in year 12, it's pretty much the same as the UK, I'd say, but our grading system is different. Our grading system is what it used to be in the UK, but altered ever so slightly. So while in the UK, grades now go from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in Northern Ireland they now go A star, A, B, C star, C, D, E, F, G. And you can see that in the diagram that I'm going to put up here. You can see that Northern Ireland 9 in GCSE, or Northern Ireland A star, is equal to a UK 9. So when I say I got 11 A stars at GCSE, that is, I got 11 9s. You can see that they are directly equivalent, and so on and so forth. That was just to bring the Northern Ireland system in line with the UK system. So then we move on to A-levels. So I'm doing A-levels, I'm in year 14, and A-levels are different. They're more different than GCSEs are. So we have AS exams still. I know that in the UK they kind of got rid of them. Was it 3 years ago now? But we just have AS and A2 exams compared to UK just having A-levels. And so in year 13, or UK year 12, we do our AS exams, and then in year 14 we do our A2 exams. So I am fully concentrating on my A2 exams at the minute, and I don't need to remember stuff from AS. That is the case, which I like. And I think that's the main difference. I mean, I think I'll have 11 exams at the end of this year. And if I was doing all of my exams at once, I would have 22 or maybe 23, depending on if a subject has one or more things per year and stuff like that. But I am currently doing four. I'm doing four full A levels, and I know in the UK that you're kind of recommended to do three, but if you want to do four, you can. But in Northern Ireland, four ASs is, for most people, if you're doing A levels, you'll start with four ASs. If you want to drop one, that's fine, or you can continue on do the A2, and that's how we work.
My second question is, what's the biggest mistake that you made during your GCSEs that you would advise all students to avoid?
So this is another great question. At GCSE, I actually made a video about my GCSE regrets, and one of them in particular was me joking, and it's really true, but there's a kind of running joke on my channel about how I have a really just hate-hate relationship. There's no love-hate in this, it's just hate-hate relationship with physics. And I couldn't stand GCSE physics, and especially Unit 2, and I had a really hard time with Unit 2, and I didn't want to revise it, I didn't want to do practice papers for it, didn't want to go in and do that exam. I did have three exams the day of that exam of Unit 2, and the other two subjects I had on the same day as my physics Unit 2 were further maths and German, which were the ones I really wanted to do well in. And so one of the biggest mistakes I made was really making myself feel like I couldn't do physics because I hated it so much. And because I hated it so much, I wasn't good at physics, I couldn't do physics, I wasn't able to answer questions, I didn't know how to do things. I would focus on things I couldn't do in physics a lot more than things I could do in physics. Turned out I was fine in physics. I somehow managed to get an A star. I still don't know how that was actually possible, but I stressed myself far too much out on things like the left and right hand rule and magnetism and electromagnetism and circuits and just electricity in general, when really that's only one topic in the entire, or two topics in the entire exam. And I got so stressed out about that, and it made me so nervous going into that physics exam when really I didn't need to be, and it put me under so much stress coming up to the exam. So I would highly recommend that you do not stress yourself out about a subject. If you can't do one topic, it's probably going to be fine. I think there was maybe only one question on my entire paper, maybe about 5 or 6 marks out of the entire 100-mark paper or something on the topics I really struggled with, and I just give them a go in the exam. So yeah, don't stress yourself out. What else did I say in that video? Well, one of my biggest regrets was not reading a question. Because I didn't read the question, I lost out on quite a lot of marks, which could have got me a very high mark in A level or GCSE further maths. So read the question as well. Always read the question and read it again just to be sure.
My third question is, what's the hardest A-level subject you're currently studying at the moment? And what are you doing to ensure that you achieve top marks in it?
So most people know this, but if you don't, I am doing A-level chemistry, biology, maths and further maths. And out of those four, two come out as being difficult. And there will be chemistry and further maths. I would say the hardest is definitely further maths. Just because of how extreme it is, I would say. There are so many new things to learn. You need to already have a very good grasp of A-level maths, and because I'm doing A-level maths and A-level further maths at the same time, I don't know all of this before I can move over with this. I don't know all the maths to be able to then do further maths first, which is what my further maths teacher is having to help us a lot with. She's teaching us stuff from here so that we can go over this while having the same level of maths. But to get top rates in further maths, practice is key. And it's not just practicing and then coming to the exam and thinking you know it. It's practicing it now, practicing it next month, doing a question or two to make sure you still remember it, practicing it 2 months later to make sure you still remember it, practicing half a year later, doing practice papers over Christmas half term before your mocks. Make sure that you know it so well for your mocks that you know it better than you did the first time. Then do it again, maybe about St. Patrick's Day. Then do it again coming up to your exams, and then practice every single type of question, every single topic, so that it's all stuck in your head. But for those of you who don't do further maths, which is a very large majority of people in the world because we're crazy, we are crazy. Chemistry is very hard, and the main thing I think about chemistry is understanding. If you don't understand the question, if you don't understand the topic, you can't apply it to whatever question they throw at you. I was doing a question about rates today, and they threw in a random organic question, and you just kind of had to go, okay, what do I know about organic and what do I know about rates, and combine the two together. And if you have a really good understanding, then you're going to be in a much better position to answer that question. So things I do is I would make my notes. I'd listen in class, it's always the first thing, and I find I'm a good listener, and when I listen I remember. And so I would then go home, I would make my notes, I would hopefully, if there's anything I didn't know while making my notes, I would look that up, read the textbook, read another source of information, go online, have a look there, watch a YouTube video about it. I mean, honestly, watching YouTube videos about things you don't understand is one of the best ways to learn them, because someone may explain it to you in the way that you will remember it. So I love Khan Academy. I think Khan Academy is amazing for biology specifically, because sometimes it's just the constant drawing of diagrams that really helps me to remember some things in biology. But definitely understanding, whether it be any of the sciences, geography, history, I suppose. If you understand what's going on in the world, you should be in a better chance of being able to answer questions. Wider knowledge, if they ask you something that you haven't specifically done in class and you've read a little bit around the subject, you may know something that other people might not know, but that puts you in a better position to answer that question. So practice for subjects where there's not a lot of content, or not a lot of memory-based content, but a lot of working out. So maths, physics, a lot of practice in that. Being able to, apply yourself, understanding stuff well enough to be able to put it into whatever situation they throw at you. I think that is extremely important to get top marks, especially in chemistry and further maths.
Now, my fourth question is, there's lots and lots of teachers, including myself, so sometimes I am guilty of this, who advise their students to just work, 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 stay in your books, stay in your books. However, do you think it's possible to be a high achieving student, so a hardworking, studious individual, whilst also juggling other things outside of your studies, such as, for example, being a content creator and also having a social life? In other words, is it possible to have it all and still succeed as a student?
So, for those people who know me, most people know that I'm an extreme introvert, and I do not like meeting up with people. I would much rather be at home, but that doesn't mean I'm constantly studying. I basically, on school days, it's for study, dedicated to study. I do piano, so that's one of my main interests that I will, have set time to do. I will practice as much as physically possible, and I don't let studying get in the way of that. When it comes to Saturdays, I will schedule out some work that I want to get done on a Saturday. If I'm coming up to a test, I'm going to have more work to do on a Saturday. And if I say I had a really busy week, or I wasn't feeling so well during the week, and I decided, no, I'm going to leave this week or this work to a bit later, I'll have more work to do at the weekend. I'll get it done that weekend and won't have time for anything else. But it is equally important to schedule time to do things you love, schedule time to meet people, schedule times to, go to your friend's house, meet up with people, go to coffee shops, whatever it may be. So 18th birthday parties, those are a thing. Now that people are turning 18, my friends are turning 18, so 18th birthday parties, what happens? They have a party, you leave that time slot blank and you go and enjoy yourself. You go and meet up with your friends, you go and do that because there's time to do that. And I think working smarter is a lot more important than working harder. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to be working constantly. It means you need to be working at a way that means you will retain the information as efficiently as possible. Efficient Germans, as they call it. I aspire to be as efficient as physically possible. So I have to-do lists. I know exactly what I want to do. I categorize them in different ways. I categorize them as things I want to do today, things I can probably do today, or I might do tomorrow. If I do it tomorrow, no big deal. I categorize it as, this is very important, this needs to be done before anything else in case of emergency. I like to be very organized, and so I will know, I have like week plans. I know what I want to be doing each day of the week. I know, especially for being a content creator, I know when videos are coming out. I know what videos are coming out when. I know when I'm scripting. I know when I'm recording. I know when I'm uploading. I know when I'm dedicating to editing, channel art, etc., etc. Being a content creator and being a high achieving student can be tricky because you have to focus on two things at once. And being a content creator is a very ongoing process. For me, it's definitely a bit more ongoing than my social life, but I really enjoy it and it's something I'm passionate about. Something I'm passionate about is sharing information, helping people to learn for themselves, helping people learn how to learn. That's something I'm passionate about. And so I dedicate time to that. I usually stop working at 9 o'clock at night anyway, and then I have time to film, or on Saturdays I have time to film. So I think you have to strike a balance that you're happy with, but means that you don't either get way behind in your work or completely neglect a social life.
My fifth and final question is, where do you see yourself, Jude, in 5 years' time? And what are you doing to get there?
I absolutely love this question because I know where I want to be in 5 years. I have a plan and I know where I want to be as long as everything goes to that plan. But before I say what I want to do, it is okay if you don't know what you want to do in 5 years' time. Sometimes getting through school and going to university can give you more of an idea of what you want to be doing in 5 years' time. Sometimes if school really isn't for you, going and doing a course, for example, a BTEC course in a college that is exactly you, or applying to higher level or lower level apprenticeships and finding something you love and can learn at the same time, maybe your path, and you may not know what that is until you actually have to go and throw yourself into it. So it is perfectly fine if you don't know what you want to do in 5 years' time. But back to me, in 5 years' time, I will hopefully be in the middle of my final year of university as a master's student, studying medicinal chemistry. I will hopefully have had a year out in Germany, or in Northern Ireland, but Germany is the aim for that year abroad, where I'll be working in industry. I'll be, working in a company, possibly doing drug research, probably producing medicines, something along that line. But to get there, I know that I need to do well in my A levels. I know that the grades I'm going for are AAA, and if I can get my AAA, if I can get my personal statement in, if that's all good and sent away on time, I can hopefully get into the course for me. And the course that I have found through a lot of research is medicinal chemistry in Queen's. That's in Northern Ireland, one of our two universities. And it's so exciting. I love the course because it combines my favourite things in chemistry with my favourite things in biology, and there's also maths involved. It's pretty much organic chemistry. There's obviously some other chemistry in there because it's a mainly chemistry course, but there's only human biology. And people who know me know that animals, plants, and I do not get on. But humans, human biology for me is amazing. It is really the biology I love, really the biology that I can learn a lot easier than the plant stuff where I'm just like, I don't really care, to be honest. So yeah, to get there, I'm going to work as hard as I can just during study leave, especially coming up to study leave, throughout the year, gradually building my knowledge until I can get to that point where I know everything so well, I'm confident going into my A-level exams. Then get to university, learn the way of university. I think that's so important because we don't know what universities are going to be like until we get there. We don't know how our learning styles are going to change because your university lecturers are not going to be handing you booklets of notes. They're not going to be saying, this is exactly what you need to know. There's no real specification. So you have to work out how you work best in university, work out your, are you moving to university? Are you moving abroad? Are you living at home? What situation are you going to be in then? And so I think for my first year of university, a lot of it's going to be working out how to work best and then powering through working at my absolute best until I get to the end. And the end is hopefully graduating with a master's degree in medicinal chemistry and moving on to drug development. That is the plan. And so those are the 5 questions that Barbara has asked me, and I'm so thankful, Barbara, for you, for your amazing personality. Thank you for that first email reaching out, for saying, do you want to do a collab? And I of course said yes. So I have to say that you should 100% go over and check out First Rate Tutors on YouTube. I will link them down below and see what they've got there. There could be the thing that you've really been looking for online, the thing that you need to get you through your exams. So go check them out. I want to say a massive thank you to Barbara. Just thank you for the questions, sending them in so quickly and efficiently. I mean, I didn't have to ask at all. She got them in, done, and I'm very grateful for that because I don't have a lot of time at the minute, I have a lot of work to do at the minute, and that's kind of the situation we're in. But Barbara found the time, sent them as soon as possible. I got the time, recorded this as soon as possible, and it was a great team. Like, honestly, we great teamwork. So thank you, Barbara. But that is all I have time for today. If you like this video, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Go for the First Rate Tutors. Like, subscribe, leave comments down below saying it came from me, saying it came from Jude. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all again later. Bye.